We'll be viewing the second match against OMO Abyssinian. These games are definitely really close, so it'll be exciting to watch back. OMO Abyssinian, very interesting team. The interesting part about OMO is that they are very good mechanical players, but they have limited Pokemon pools. So the problem in the first game is that we weren't really able to target their Mon pool very well. And I think the main reason is like we banned Umbreon and we picked like Inteleon or something, and then they managed to get a lot of their comfort picks, which is like Zoroark and I think they're Hoopa. So we first pick Lapras, which is, you know, our classic. Lapras is just really good in every situation in the first pick. But they pick Hoopa and Leafeon. So at this spot, we get Inteleon as well. Right away, we should just pick Inteleon Zoroark because Shua is really good at Zoroark. And his other Mon is like Glaceon mainly. If we get Zoroark will do really well against Glaceon as well. And it's already looking good against Hoopa and Leafeon. So we could just go Inteleon Zoroark right here and probably have a really easy time this game. But I think we pick something else. Yeah, we picked Urshifu. I'm actually unsure as to why we picked Urshifu here. I think maybe we thought that there's a pretty big blunder here that we picked Urshifu instead. Urshifu will do fine, but like Zoroark is good against like Inteleon and probably our support pick. So it's gonna be pretty hard to deal with Zoroark in this spot. Just because this guy's just like really cracking mechanically on it, and he's gonna gank bot. So on paper here, like our comp team's pretty good, but honestly, I think the Blissey is really bad. I think instead we probably should just went Clefable because you have the Speedster, the Zoroark, and the Leafeon, and Clefable been really good here. So I think that's kind of a mistake. And we think like the Zoroark won't be that much of an issue at the start, but then we find out that this guy's just really good. Definitely our draft here was not what we wanted, and J-Raps is a very good Hoopa player as well. So they managed to get a lot of comfort picks. So they just do something pretty standard. Hoopa Red Leash, go top. No buff split for the Leafeon. Manages to secure up farm in the bot lane. Inteleon's just too good at that. The Zoroark manages to go top. He already picks up a quick kill on Ren. He manages to pick up that farm. I guess the main issue here was like, because the Hoopa has red buff, it's probably just too dangerous to like even walk up to start trading with a Blastoise in the first place when we know Zoroark could be there. But then Zoroark manages to catch him out. They pick up 2 kills. Oh, Lord Seer, level 5. They'll probably be able to kill. Yeah, they'll probably be able to kill Squirtle. I'm really surprised Shua didn't go for the kill here. So he uses Flash, we see that. He uses all his Surging Strikes. He doesn't auto attack once. If you don't know how Surging Strikes works, it resets the cooldown based off your boosted auto attack. But Overlord actually didn't get the boosted auto attack once. Like he has a long cooldown of Surging Strikes here, and he has no Flash. I'm very surprised Shua doesn't go for the kill here. I think it definitely could have happened. Yeah, so I mean already Shua is dominating this game. He's level 6.5. Gets away at the portal. He comes back, but Overlord manages to dodge some of it. Now he has Comfy on him. Shua does not manage to pick up the kill, but Rin dies after trying to get the small cap. Leafeon shows up top lane from bot, but it's mostly because like he can't get any farm bot lane. We're doing pretty good bot, but then they TP Zoroark down. It's just like we're getting outpaced really hard because they have Hoopa and Zoroark, so this guy's just all over the map and we can't. So look at this. Yeah, this guy is just not going to miss his feint attack combos. He's got his mechanics down on lock. Like usually, I try to like go at an angle than this. Also, dude, that didn't. But he takes his time. Like he feint attack, auto attacks, and he waits, and then he makes sure that I'm caught here before going for the combo out again. I mean, yeah, he's just picking up kills everywhere. Level 8 already. I think he's only 1 stack, but his level's really high. His rest of his team level 5, and he's level 8. Jesus. Yeah, so this has definitely gonna be 9 here. Reggie, Oler's pretty behind, wasn't able to get much out of the early game. Yeah, this guy, we use auto attacks into his feint as well to give himself more time to make sure he lands it as well. And just a little bit more damage. His auto attack, and then the feint. And he puts himself in the perfect spot to be able to kill Slash. And then I think this is when I realized, like, dude, this guy is too good as Zoroark. Like, we cannot give him it at all. So, feint attack, he auto attacks, then he reads my movement down. Shadow Claw does it again. I start going up trying to dodge it, and then he just Shadow Claws tracking my movement. And he kills me too. That's when I realized like this guy's like not missing right now. It is a little bit too cracked on the Zoroark. We cannot give him this again. Really bad. Yeah, Oler's only level 7. Zoroark's probably about to hit level 10. OMO is doing really well right now. They have a really high pace in this game. They're able to defend their path really well with Hoopa as well, so it's hard to get comeback. So I mean, in our spot, it's kind of hard to do much. We're just looking for picks like on this guy maybe. He just flashes away so we can't kill him. We're just mostly looking to like scale up. I think Inteleon and Lapras will hard gap them late game. So we're trying to like get the safe runs that we can. Maybe punish them if they go too far. If Blissey Rin, I think it's really unrealistic to be able to hit Blissey on this guy here. He's so fast, and he still has full heal up. Like even if the Blissey lands when he has full heal, there's no way he'll do enough damage. So yeah, he's just way too fast. We're trying to Lapras ult, trying to make a play top. We go into the tree, like he's not even close to dying. If we managed to hit the Leafeon instead, we maybe could have killed. But I mean, I think he's getting tunked by Overlord, yeah. What did he score bot? He scored 30 bot as well. Yeah, almost just they got a really good macro right now, especially the Hoopa. Hoopa's definitely helping their macro out a lot. Putting a lot of pressure. We use Urcha Unite. Managed to get a 20 over, not bad. So even though they got a lot of points in our tier 2 and they used a good amount of unites, we were able to push it in. It's just a really powerful aspect of like the water bear comfy. It's almost impossible to stop unless like the Zoroark is there with like a Blastoise combo, but like their two best defenders at stopping the push we're not there, so the push is pretty successful. We have 2 unites. We don't know how many unites they have, but we know that they at least have Koopa, and they know. I think we know pretty much the status of all their unites. So most likely, we're just gonna try like cheese steal it, maybe score behind or score top. Yeah, so we're kind of just like trying to put some pressure to score top, and then maybe try to like stall them bot lane and be able to steal from behind as well. Or OMO. I mean, OMO put in a big fight. They played really well. And then they managed to back up again. This is one of the things we noted about OMO 2 is that they love to back up and go behind us and play around vision, but we really weren't able to play around it very well this game. It's like, it definitely took some getting used to, so they played this game really, really well. And this is just such a fantastic combo too. They Blastoise ulted, knocked up both Slash and Overlord, and then he put the Zoroark Unite on top of them. And they all got the 1 HP, and he probably picks up kills after this as well. Yep, he kills it, they all die. Yeah, from this spot, the game looks really hard, actually. I guess we have Blissey and Teleunite that we have to use, like, right now. Probably on a bot push, but maybe we go for top as well. Slash just Blissey, that one's whatever, because we're just trying to get enough cooldown, and hopefully we can pick up a kill. If you don't get it, it's whatever, we're just farming back. There's nothing much to play for now. Late game, like, our comp is still probably better, but this level difference right now is huge. Almost heavily favored to win the game in this spot right now. Level 13. Yikes. Trying to get a pick on this guy. He full heals, he's low. He doesn't quite go down to liquidation. They start teleporting down. The Blastoise is there. The push is over. Level 11 Inteleon, 12 Urshi, 12 Lapras. Dude, how do we win this game? I'm kind of surprised looking back. We're definitely looking to get some picks on their speedsters. They don't have good pockets for their speedsters. They don't have like a Blissey or like a Comfy or a Clef. So if they make a positioning mistake, we can definitely catch them. That's 100% what I would look for here. Manage to catch them with like Urshifu Comfy or maybe like a liquidation with an Ice Beam or something like that. And then we can start from there. Probably just immediately start doing the Ray if we get a pick on one of the speedsters. It's really good. So Rin sees the scouts out, we can get it back cap. He can't. Zoroark's there. We know where he is now though, which is valuable information. Overlord's just not going to take any damage here. He has Comfy on him as well. Goes in for a good chunk on the Blastoise, which is very good. This is one of the mistakes I think he makes here is like when you're playing against Liquidation Inteleon, you don't even want to like up here next to him at all. Like, you don't even want to be close. So he Phantom Forces in at the top right of the screen. You put the portal in the right side bush. I don't know what that's supposed to do either. She was literally full HP Zoroark. Like, where are you putting the portal for? And then you Phantom Force like this. You don't even go in the bush. What is the point of this Phantom Force at all? Then he gets full chunk by liquidation, and he has no portal now because he used it for some reason. I'm not sure if Overlord like recognizes all that, but I mean the spin on the Blastoise runs out and he has Comfy and he knows where Zoroark is. So he knows like the only real way or like Urshifu dies with Comfy here is Zoroark combo. So he's like, yeah, I can't really die here, so I'm just gonna go for this big chunk here. It's probably like Overlord saying, I'm going, let's go in, let's look at this. Because you know, the Hoopa's chunk, Blastoise spin's running out, and we know Zoroark's recalling. Rin sees the Hoopa's low, he starts ulting for it. Right here, yeah, he starts ulting. This is a really good time to start the Lapras ult as well. Sure. Perfect. Dude, I think it's because Slack is kind of old Overlord, I think. But like, the Hoopa dies, Leafman gets away, and then you see Blastoise maybe can come back to the portal. Overlord still has 50% health with Comfy on him. Dude, you don't even need the Blissey ult, by the way. What? Just walk up to him and heal him. There's no way you even need the Blissey ult at that moment. You can just save it. There's no way like Overlord is even going to be close to dying in this spot. So then they get away. We use Lapras ult for that, but we know they're coming back with Hoopa Unite, so we also pop like Blissey Unite, Lapras Unite, Comfy Unite. Why did we Unite? I guess we thought Blastoise would kill him, so we pretty much just pop all of our ults except mine, which, dude, I'm literally the only one who doesn't troll here. I don't pop my ult for no reason, so this is really, really troll. We need to get out of here and manage to get the flip off because we're going to lose in the fight really hard. So I go to the top side, I just start ripping it. Literally no way we can win on the fight. Oh! Oh! Maka Christ! I guess Miwa doesn't have eject button here because he definitely could have like ult ejected and caught me, but then he only hits Rin here. He also keeps the lap. He does damage to the Ray and keeps the leash. You see Miwa's like trying not to hit the Rayquaza, just only trying to hit Overlord, which means like Slash Rin are healing, and then they're able to still hit the Rayquaza as well. The Blastoise definitely isn't a good mod for this situation. So Leafeon ults, chunks it a bit, and then Rin manages to get it as a Parasol when Leafeon unites before his Soul Ray comes out, and it's really good. Rin did hard clutch for sure. Very good timing on the Parasong. So that's Parasong 1, Parasong 2, he secures the Parasong 3. That's really good. He knows the timing, Leafeon all comes down, Parasong 3 gets it. Nice. I think our play around the flip was definitely good. I think still their use of Unice is really poor, but I think the play around the flip was fine. The situation leading to the flip seemed really bad. But yeah, I think it's mostly just Shua managed to exploit bot really hard in the early game because we're playing Natalia and Blissey, which just doesn't really do anything. So he got really fed. There are a lot of times that maybe we could have been able to get a kill on him or something like that with maybe Water Shifu, but Shua just manages like outmaneuver us and he gets away without really dying pretty much the entire game. Actually, I don't think Shua got caught like once. Like, when did Shua actually die? I don't think they actually ever died. I'm actually really surprised. Like, all the good Zorks eventually, like, most of the time they get caught or they make a mistake and they get killed. But Shua just didn't die ever that game. I think his team definitely had really poor Ina usage and a lot of mistakes at the Ray, which is the reason they lost. So in that game, we got hard stomped throughout pretty much the entire game. I think we just barely managed to clutch it out. Okay, so we move on to the second game. We banned Lapras on second pick because it's just way too broken. That's the first pick as well. So then they first pick Umbreon. We decide, yeah, fuck that. We're not giving him Zorak again. Let's just pick Zorak right now. Then you go Zorak and Tellian, which is probably the two picks we should have done in the first game. So we also pick Hoopa to take it away from J-Repson because we thought his Hoopa gameplay early game made it really hard to get any leads or kills. So we're basically just like taking away their picks right now. I'd so much rather play into this comp than the last one for sure. The last pick we just go Buzzwole. Buzzwole does pretty good against the Blastoise, even not bad against Umbreon, and then can maybe catch the LD or the Leafeon pretty well. And then we go Tree Bottom. We don't really go for the Blissey here. We also generally consider Umbreon to be a pretty good Blissey counter because when you Blissey ult and you give the shield to yourself with the Buddy Berry and also a big shield to your ally with the Blissey ult effect on top of it, Umbreon can like steal all that shield away if it's in a good spot to ult. When you're playing Umbreon against Blissey, you can kind of just mean look the Blissey and kind of catch out the Blissey a lot of the times in fights. So it's pretty scary for Blissey against Umbreon. Zorak is very good this game. They're just gonna have to, you have to be a little bit more careful and calculated with your engages when you don't have a pocket to few. This guy trolls. Let me teach you something really specific. So when you're playing jungle and you wait until like 9:45, you'll get more EXP on the Xatu. And this EXP is the difference between hitting level 4 off your first buff or not. The reason why people can 1-buff gank with things like EVs or even like any mon, the reason you can 4-buff gank on mons that evolve at 4 is doing the strat where you can get more EXP at like 9:45. You need to do this on mons that evolve at 4 because that enables you to 1-buff gank. Even if you don't 1-buff gank, it makes doing the red buff or like whatever buff you do next or the first buff like 20 times faster. Obviously, Leafeon, if it gets Razor Leaf or Solar Blade, it'll instantly one-shot the next buff and you'll be that much faster on your way to the gank. So Shua definitely just hard trolls here when he doesn't really know about the tech, I guess, and then just takes it early and then he takes the red buff, but he still is EV. I think that really harms his clear. It's also just something like, I'm surprised he didn't know that. Evo manages to block the top stinger from Rin to secure the top left farm. Okay, so we go for the small caps here. This is pretty much what we do all the time. This cap is too greedy. The difference that this 7 makes is now I would have enough experience to go and take the back right in DD and hit level 5. That's the difference that this score would actually give me. But then that's the Leafeon, which we didn't see at all in the map, manages to come down and pick up the kill on me, which is definitely not really what we want. But the Overlord manages to trade pretty good. Overlord could just go for another cap here, but he doesn't. Interesting. I guess he just wants to preserve his HP more than going for another stack, which I think is a fine decision as well. Rin stays top. We noticed that like Elo came down for the 4 man just to ensure that the kind of play works out for us. So Rin was lead laning for a bit. Then Overlord's just farming. They're just like kind of getting vision and scouting for if they're going to invades. They double invade with LD Leafeon later on. So I initially was leaving because I didn't think Overlord was contesting this, but he goes for it, he fights them, he gets to kill Leafeon, dies to LD. I think it's a good trade. So EXP balling is pretty much equal, not too bad. Until I end the mid B is just like really good because you pretty much guarantee secure the mid big B no matter what because he's still a water gun most of the time. Slash, what is Slash doing here? Walks up with 13 points and tries to score in his face. I think it's really troll. I don't think you're ever gonna score 13 points in anybody's face. The Slash dies for a bit undermanned for the beast. Overlord tries to go for the 2. He manages the illusion the mean look, but he doesn't have any moves left, so he dies to small. Overlord didn't go for that play earlier in the game in the same situation where like the Espeon sitting on the pad, and we know Espeon's gonna do so much damage, like pretty much at 9:03, right? He kills him. He has points, and he doesn't go for the cap. I think this cap is actually safer. That's still an EV. That's only level 4. He uses sword power. Just go for the stack, no? But he doesn't go for this play, which is probably a lot safer. And then he goes for this play, which I think is a lot more dangerous, and then dies. I don't know. I'm not trying to like harp on him and be like, God, you're so stupid. It's like, he's a fantastic player. Probably the best in the world. I'm not gonna say anything about that. But just like people still make mistakes like that. It's how you like try to like respond to those mistakes and keep them in check. Trying to really give you guys perspective on what kind of happens in these games. I mean, he manages to catch me. It kind of goes down in the situation. So Overlord's not quite level 9. He manages to clock me with the thigh beam. And then Leafin just comes down with Unite from a bush on the left side. This means a solar beam, and then I can't get away from his Leafin ult at all because I got mean look. He also ejects after me. I'm not too upset about that. He has basically nothing, but then they start going for the secure. Overlord's 9, but then they secured the Leaf Blade. I mean, this pretty well played by OMO. They keep it leashed the entire time. And Overlord's just quite not level 9, which is really unfortunate. He had a really good chance of stealing this if he wasn't level 9. Then they get it. Rin actually dies top, so yeah, their squirrel starts becoming really, really big. I mean, look at this lineup. This is why Overlord's like just so good at Zora. Look at this line of LD, Espeon, and Leafeon. He just knows to go in right here because this line is just so perfect for the Zora Fiend attacks. So he gets a really, really good angle here on this engage. Starts knocking up everybody. Hit Shua. Perfect. Zora ult. Gets the movement speed. Go through Luis. Luis can't get away. Goes for the kill on LD. LD's just a little bit too fast to con score, but that's fine. He manages to live. Slash picks up the kill. So this is a big mistake by me. I walk into a snarl and get stunned, so my liquidation cancels. That was really bad. It's fine though, we have enough damage to kill him. Bro, Elo? Wait. Yeah, Elo scored. Oh my god, why'd you score, bro? It's so free. At least Slash is 23 and he's stacking as well. So he goes for the invade. He goes still heavy knight from the bot play. Knock up on both of them. He hits it on J-Raptor. Oh, shit. Okay, that was nice. I can't recap. That was clean. Go through the blue buff as well. Definitely greedy. I mean, that was just nice. Flash mean look. Overlord manages to illusion it. Perfect. The side beam manages to... It kills the blue buff and then does so much damage to the Overlord on the side. He ends up dying. A little bit greedy, but all good. Definitely pick up 2 good kills on the back line. I guess Rin gets off the cap. He combos the Blastoise in the top, right? Yep. Almost a Blastoise, and the Elos are hitting him as well. Pops Unite on him. That's pretty good. Rin actually did pick up 5 points here, because I think Elo got capped points. Yeah, he picked up max money from this, so then Rin actually did have money, but I think Rin didn't think he had any points, so he went for the 5 on the bunny as well. He had 10, which is actually just a little bit too much to actually score. So now we're probably just looking to like do the top Reggie Lucky. They don't really have too many ults left, but we don't really have any ults either. We're probably just looking to start forcing it and be able to see if they make a positioning mistake. Maybe looking at this blast, which got really far up. Okay, we're just looking to secure it. Okay, I guess we could have just liquidation here. We have Zork Unite and we have liquidation. It's not too bad. They have Thorn Power Side Beam. It's pretty close, I suppose. I think he misses his Side Beam, and it might have gotten in that spot. And that would have been tough. But it's just like, oh, actually, they do have Blastoise Unite back, and they still have LD and Espeon, so it's kind of hard to make a move on them right now, like be able to actually just full fight them. And it's just like their LD and Espeon are just playing so far back this entire fight. It's very hard for Overlord to get a good engage here. This waiting time, it's like, okay, are they gonna make a mistake? Like Overlord's looking, Are they gonna make a position mistake? And he's like, I can't really find an angle, so I guess we're just finishing it. Okay, the side beam probably would have stolen it actually, right at that moment. But then we managed to get it. Heavy Knight comes out. Leafy Unites me, I die. I just think Slash just shouldn't have Heavy Knight at all, because I don't think it does anything. We're trying to push right now. LD gets the Unite off, I come with Intelli Unite. Blast is trying to spin on me, we catch him with the Overpower, really good by Rin. LD's, I mean, Espeon's really low for my last auto attack. And they actually can't end up with both of this. Then Slash scores 27 for fun. Can we just take the time to score, please? We could have just scored 14-32, but Slash just immediately scores, even though they're all 1 HP or dead. So I mean, Overlord's definitely trying to get like he's trying to like smite it with final Feint attack. Like, so Overlord's doing it, trying to get it out before the rest of the team comes. But they managed to show up in time. So what should we do in this spot? Well, the only way I think Overlord can get it is just, you have to run for the Reggie early. It's like, you get off at this much HP, right? Like, a little bit above half, they started doing it. Right now, you should just spam normal Feint attack on it to get the empowered Feint attack ready, but then it's a little bit too late. It also does a lot of Shadow Claws, so it does a lot of damage to the Reggie, and then it just falls in the Solar Blade. Not contesting is also a good idea, so what should we do in this macro spot? So we take this portal, pretty much all of us take that portal, right? So Overlord's respawning. I think what we should do is that I think we should all just go back top and then go for their top tier 2, because we know that we're doing pretty well in this game. We managed to get a power Reggie lucky, push it in, we broke bot lane, things like that. So Ace-wise are doing pretty good. They have to catch up on farm a lot of the time, and they really want to get the experience lead by going for the bot Reggie as well. So I think we all should just teleport it back top and then done top tier 2. I think that would be the most guaranteed play in this spot. So we come in for the defense. I mean, Slash is scoring 19. Where was Rin in this spot, right? Rin sees Blastoise, so Rin probably can't go to score because the Blastoise just follow him. So he goes bot lane to try to defend. Off the Unite on Espeon, because Espeon still has passive as well, I think that also Unite will never do anything. We probably have to try to like at least go the LB or the Leafeon. The Buzzwood Knight does nothing. It's probably really hard to defend this. He gets a good interrupt on the portal, then everybody kind of just falls to that. So almost in a not bad spot now. I still think almost team comp like sucks really bad, and late game especially, their comp's gonna do 0 damage. But in terms of just experience right now, they're not doing bad. Dude, I swear I got Leafeon ulted like 16,000 times. I go for the poke on the LD. This is definitely troll. Guy's just sitting in there with ulti. I should have just waited in this bush until the Leafeon decided to leave. I should just sit in that bush and just wait for them to do something. Or once Overlord starts going in, like Overlord's definitely coming to go in here and we have full. The Leafeon is forced to leave the bush, and then that's when I can just liquidate him and he would probably die. So definitely a lack of patience from my end. I kind of fooled that play, which is really unfortunate. We probably could have gone like all 3 kills there. So using Queen Knight, we get the Reggie Lucky. We're not going to do too much of this. Get the top pieces, whatever. We're looking to maybe get some points in the bot tier too. It's probably not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen. Slash dies. So this dude really went here for the worst clutch I've ever went. And it's not just like, I'm not saying just Slash, but like Slash in the red as well. But then Slash goes for it knowing he has like valuable resources like the passive, and then loses it for fun. I don't know, some of these decisions just seem really troll. So we're kind of looking for the Reggie, I suppose. It's just a Reggie Ice, so it doesn't really matter too much like being in a dangerous spot to get it. It'll be okay to get, I guess. I don't know, the levels are kind of bad for us. They don't really have the best rip of the Ray. They have good levels though. In a full-on team fight, I think it'd be close just because of how much levels they have, but I think any good like liquidation poke or Buzzwole combo on one of them will just instantly one-shot somebody. I think they still have to be relatively cautious. Elo manages to combo the Umbreon, take its passive, it's pretty good. I mean, look, it won't do anything, Slash. Rin's trying to scout out the top path, but we see the Blastoise here, so I would probably just move Rin down right now. Just trying to go for the back path. No, when the Raid's this chance, they have this much position in the pit. I think Rin should just come down and look for a flank personally. So the fight starts breaking up. It already starts with this Blastoise kind of taking a lot of damage. He takes the falling buff. And then Miwa's like, yo, we need to start doing Ray. So this is fine, right? Like, you do need to start doing Ray on the left side. But like, he gets a bit poked by the Ray. I think he gets hit with the portal damage. But he takes a lot of damage from just the Ray in general. I mean, not too much. He gets a Palm Puff at the end, but now Palm Puff's on cooldown, right? So we could be more efficient with this. Yeah, Koopa is just winning. I mean, the cap, I don't know, like, it's a misconception. The one being there to start up the fight can make a very big difference in contrary to just coming through the portal. Because we're still, like, the portal most of the time, it's going to be in a safer spot so that, you know, range carries who need to go through the portal later on, maybe they get away or, like, they want to recon come back. Most of the time, they are going to be in a safer spot. While Buzzwole most likely wants to be on top of them and, like, going for a good flank on their Eld or, like, their Leafeon or something like that. So I don't think it very much helps that you go through the portal in a bad spot for a mon that's really specifically trying to be on top of them like Buzzwole. The 100's whatever, but like we're already a huge lead. I thought he's just going to cover the top gap. I don't know if I particularly like this. Also, like, say that Rin was actually here, if this guy tries to spin like this onto us and Rin was there, like in a flank or like over the wall or something like that, and just like flash superpowers him, the Blastoise would just instantly die. So I mean, I think there'd be a lot of value for Rin here if he was just here already. We get a good amount of poke on him from the help of the Ray and then the Hoopa ult damage. Overlord starts going a shoe on the bottom left. Gets a good combo into him. Duo drops for 1 HP. So Overlord manages to track him with the final feint attack, drops the ult Unite on him. Duo like desperately tries to ult him to be able to live, probably like with the body barrier. Still falls to him because you can't do anything about that against the Zoroark Unite. So I mean, really good catch and positioning by Overlord in that bottom left L. They weren't able to see him coming. How does he even get in the spot? He's playing in the bot lane pushes. Shua gets forced out for some reason. Then we see them all coming towards mid, and then Overlord starts making his move towards the bottom left. Huge wood hammer by Flash actually. That was fantastic. Look at that wood hammer. Fantastic. They go straight on to Shua. He just starts LD Uniting immediately because he's afraid he won't be able to get any abilities off while getting CC'd. Turning Unite catches Espeon, the LD's ulting away. Turning Unite could have probably been a little bit better. It could have hit the Espeon and the Blastoise. Shua, I think, eject buttons here. That's his eject button, and then he doesn't get healed by Jaeger Absent. Like, Overlord just chunk him, he would run away, Leafeon would be really low, and then you just get LD ult. But then Overlord goes down with the final feint attack. He eject buttons into Overlord. He thinks he's trying to, like, get away with him, and he doesn't think that he's going to feint attack towards that direction. Overlord is like, oh, you're on top of me? I'll just press my ult, and then you just die. And then J-Reps and also tries to like, help him out, but then also takes a lot of damage from the Zoroark Unite. And now Overlord's on the hunt. He's probably gonna look for J-Reps next. Yep, he looks for J-Reps next. Kills LD. And it's just all downhill from here. Let's just watch it one more time. Shadow Ball is a lot safer against the mean look. You definitely don't want to get mean look as Hoopa because you get poked really hard. So Shadow Ball is safer, and then it gets you the. I mean, Phantom Force can stun them as well, but you can stun the Espeon, the Leafeon, and the Umbreon from far away, and you can be really safe by just Shadow Balling and Portaling, and then you can be pretty safe. Yeah, exactly. The proc EV passives, and you maybe even stun the Leafeon, and you can be very safe while doing that. Phantom Force can do the same thing, but a lot more dangerous. So you want to be really safe against this kind of comp, which is just like an all-in run-in comp, and Shadow Ball, Phantom Force can do the same job of getting their passes. I mean, Leafeon definitely misplayed here for sure. I think Leafeon would live in this spot, but the way that they engage, where they managed to stun all three of them, where Slash managed to stun all three of them with the Woodhammer, and then he started going on Shua, I think Shua would probably have to get LD died, or he'll be 1 HP and he has to recall. Like, he wouldn't die there, but I think the fight already starts out really well for us in this spot. Elo shouldn't have Portal up right now, because he used it earlier to get his passive, so maybe he doesn't have it right now. He could mean look Elo, and then Espeon could walk up or poke. But then they probably just play a little bit too scared, even though they know they have to flip the Ray. Miwa is hard positioned to like actually do the Ray. So he knows that he gets Umbreon passive. He tries to mean look him. Elo does it from max range. He tries to mean look him, but Elo just runs away. So I actually think he just outranges him here. You can't mean look him. Goodbye, Elo. Yeah, but Espeon's all the way over here. He's just really scared of the Zoroark, I suppose. But I guess the position here is just like, I don't know. It seems like these rolls are not the best, where you don't have any way to do the Ray. I feel like this is a draft thing where like, who's gonna reliably hit the Ray for them and be able to like reliably slide at the same time if it gets low enough without like taking 7 billion damage from the Ray. Like Espeon could do damage to it, but then he'll take a lot of damage from the Ray, right? And he'll be in an exposed spot. This could do, Blastoise wouldn't take too much damage from it and like tank it and not be in a bad spot, but he can't like cover for bushes, and also he doesn't do enough damage to the Ray to actually like full on rip it. I think the main reason they can flip Ray, they could have, right? They got it really low. The main reason they could have got flip Ray is because Rin is capping, which I just don't agree with. I'm almost certain. I also wanted him to flank, but then we didn't try to like go with that call. They go through the cap anyway, and then they actually, I'm pretty sure they could manage to get the flip off right now, right? Like he's just still hitting, he's still hitting it. He puts the water spot on it. If he just water spots and just starts spaying on it, then like the rest of his team is right here. They could probably just flip it, right? If Rin doesn't show, they don't go in. If he's just hiding in the bush and they don't go in, that's fine with me. They need to play the timer. But then if they start full on doing it, Rin is actually there to like catch one of them and kill them. Unite could have maybe hit a little bit more people, but it's fine. He had to treat Knight immediately because he's about to die. And then Shua makes a bit of misplay. He reads that Overlord's not going to go downwards with a feint attack. Overlord follows him, pops the ult on him, does a lot of damage to J-Raps in. Espeon's just in a horrible spot. He can't go anywhere. Yeah, I think their positioning at that Ray was really bad. Whereas like Blastoise needs to clear bushes and get positioning because that's the biggest value a tank has to offer. But he's the one hitting the Ray because the rest of his team is too scared to hit the Ray, even though they really should. And then Leafeon's just like face tanking with Solar Blade, trying to just like poke them from the front, even though your poke won't do shit. You also are facing Tree Hoop on the enemy team. Who are you gonna poke? And then Zoroark gets a good engage on you because you're just showing your position to the entire world. Espeon's just really scared. Espeon needs to be confident where Blastoise, Leafeon, and Umbreon are actually giving him vision. He's way too scared to go in at all. Like he doesn't trust the vision from his teammates at all. He's sitting all the way back in the most safe position ever. Even though like his team should be able to get enough space where he can safely get spells off. The way that Overlord dies is by the Espeon killing him. He needs to be able to play in a spot where Overlord makes a mistake, or like Overlord goes on Shua like that, and he's ready to like full combo him as Espeon, but then he just gets like full CC by the tree all the way in the back. He's way too far from Overlord, and then Overlord just lives the entire team fight full HP basically, especially when they see Rin capping. But even if Rin isn't capping, like Espeon, you have your passive as well. Like Espeon's not gonna really get killed by Bustle. A lot of nervousness, a lot of flubs throughout the entire series, from us as well, but I think OMO also made a lot of flubs when they could have had a good spot in a couple games. Maybe not the last game, I mean, they had good EXP. For sure, and Espeon maybe could have carried, but any kind of mistake will result in the Espeon dying, and it's just like you have to play the fight pretty well and pretty focused, and it's like structured like the way I'm describing. Overall, I think OMO put a really good fight in the early game a lot of the time, but they always just had really big choke moments, especially at Ray. I just think their Ray fight and where they were at Ray was just so poor. I think that's one of the things we did really good at Ray, is like we have roles for what we want to do. It's definitely something like OMO didn't have those kind of roles, kind of situations where it's like, okay, the tank needs to like buy space, check these bushes, and be able to force people out of certain positions so that our range carriers can be safe. And then the range carriers need to walk up so that they can actually do damage and be able to force people to make bad decisions, or be able to have enough agency to actually do the raid. Just winning the early game isn't enough. You have to be able to convert that early game into a winning spot, the raid, no matter what. Other than that, their comp that game, once you start taking away all their picks, was just full on, I hope that we win after we hit level 4 of Semifinal Leafeon. When it comes to consistently winning games, I don't know about that. It's just people in this game especially just have a lack of good patience. That's how you win this game. That's my analysis on Luminosity versus OMO Abyssinian. The winner semifinal, definitely a close series. OMO definitely put a really good fight. The way that they rotate throughout the early game, they put us on our toes. Entertaining team to play and watch for sure. Alright guys, thanks so much for pulling through. Thank you all so much for continuing support. And so yeah, until next time, y'all have a good one. Peace out.